Yarny friends, this is Stephanie's Yarn Escape. Thank you for joining me today, Sunday, January 31st, 2021. This is episode number 27. This is a crochet podcast where I take you on my Yarny adventure and show you the shenanigans I got into this past week. And hopefully you find some sort of inspiration. So grab your favorite beverage, prop those feet up because you deserve to, and enjoy what I have to share. So, excuse me, this week I don't have a whole lot. I basically worked on one item to get it finished by today. So, and I ran into issues. You'll find out. You'll find out. So, we're going to get into it. So, I did put some work in on my Let It Snow blanket last night because I have finished the item, which I'll show you guys later, the item that I wanted to finish. But here it is. It's not much bigger than I showed you guys last. Here is the stitch marker where I was last time. So I only put on a few rows, let me tell you. So last night, I pulled this out to work on it. And I was crocheting along. Just crocheting, making major progress on it because I had a couple hours to sit down. And I probably got about 8 rows in. Like something, and I held it up to look at it. Something's not right. It was starting to, like, it was wavy down here at the bottom. What is going on? So, and I keep notes on all my project items. I have a little notebook. I write down notes, stitch count, hooks used, pattern details, things that I changed, so I remember that I changed them, yada yada. And I have wrote down that I used a K-hook. Okay, I'm using a K-hook. Start looking, then it hit me. I used an L-hook because I was going to use a K-hook, but I kind of wanted to be more like bigger stitches, of course, when you go up a hook size. And I forgot to make note of that I changed the hook size. So I stared at it. I laid it down on the floor, was staring at it a bit. What do? Do I continue on with the K-hook in hopes that it'll turn out okay? Or do I rip it back? So I thought about it for about 20 minutes. I decided to rip it back. My OCD kicked in and I couldn't do it. So I had to rip it back 8 rows. So then I only got a couple rows on before I decided to go to bed. But little progress. There's my bobbins. It's okay though. I'd rather have it crochet. We are our own worst critic when it comes to anything we do in life, you know. So I am very OCD like when it comes to my crochet items because just how I am. So even though if someone were to purchase it or if I were to give it to somebody, they may not notice that there was a little wave in that little section, but I knew, and I know I would get further and further, and I just keep looking at it, and the whole time it'd just be driving me nuts. So for my own conscience, so I can just be happy with the whole thing the whole way through, I ripped it back and used an L hook. So I have one yarny mess because the last time I showed you guys, I said I dropped that yarn barf and it was tangled. Well, it's still tangled, and now I have extra yarn because I used some of it up and yada, yada, yada. So I have one heck of a mess here I got to sort through. The yarn I'm using for it is Big Twist Classic, which is a bulky 5, in black, gray, and white. My goodness. So those 3 colors are going to make up this blanket. The pattern I am using is the Let It Snow blanket. I'm switching it up a little bit. So they have you starting down here in the plaid part and switching your color work and then just working up. So I'm going to do the plaid part differently than what they did and so I'm starting here and then I'm going to add the plaid on the sides. It's going to be more ends to weave in, a little bit more complicated, but to me, I know I'm going to like the look better in the end versus what they have you doing. So, and the other thing I worked on, I don't know if you guys remember this blanket. This used to be my knit night blanket until I got other things going. This blanket here, this just wide striped blanket. I only put a few rows on it one night. I had some extra time and I just was going to work on something easy. This is where I was last time, so I only put about 2 rows on. What I showed you guys many episodes ago, I had a friend that come over and picked up her order, one of her baby sets, and she was asking me about some blankets that I may have on hand or almost done, because she had purchased one made similar to this yarn before and she wanted another one, and I said, well, I have this one in the works, it's almost done. I just have a little bit of, I think, one more row of the white, and then I just got to do a large color section of this terracotta rose, I believe it is. So, and it'll be done. And so she said she wanted to go ahead and take it. So I'm going to finish that up for her. It hasn't been touched. It's one of those things that got put off to the back burner that, because other things came up. I'm just using a basic V-stitch back and forth. And the yarn I'm using is Bernat Velvet in white. And then Bernat Baby Velvet in Terracotta Rose. The Terracotta Rose is a yarn that I got on clearance at Joann's one time last year when I by chance stopped by. So I picked up a few skeins of that. That's all the whips I have. My Tree of Life blanket hasn't come out. Now I did work on my ornaments a little bit this week for my group of Yarny friends that we did an ornament exchange. I told them I'm shooting for Valentine's Day to have it to them by, so I will be working on that this week to get those finished up so I can get those sent out to them so they can have them. I want to get started on my Tree of Life Afghan this week, get that going. I showed you guys that last week. If you don't know what I'm talking about, refer back to the last episode. It's for Kim from the Crafted Nomad and Christy from Crochet Creations by Christy. It's a wrap mal. So it's basically where you take a whip that hasn't seen the day of light for a little bit and you bring it out and you finish it. So I'm taking advantage of that event going on, and I'm going to finish that Tree of Life. So hopefully I can get some stitches on it. I need to find where I'm at, so it's going to take a little bit of time. That's okay. But I do have one finished object that I spent all week trying to finish by today, because if you guys are on my Facebook group, if you're not, I'll be sure to link it down below. I am doing Attack of the Amigurumi 2021. It's a crochet along. It's going to be all year long. So basically, I want to perfect my amigurumi skills. It's a skill that I didn't feel 100% comfortable in, and I wanted to learn some new things and critique or better my skills. So I'm doing the crochet along. Every month is going to be a different theme, whether it be a broad theme or just a simple animal. Like this month is unicorns. So all I have to do is make a unicorn amigurumi, and then you can make as many as you want, and you can enter it into the post where you have the announcement for January. You can enter as many as you want, but your name will get put on the wheel one time. And I'm enjoying seeing everybody's amigurumis. Other people are taking advantage of this challenge to also perfect their amigurumi skills, and I love that. So I finished. Today's the last day you can get your unicorn entered. I will do the drawing tomorrow evening sometime, and we'll have that announcement. And so yes, my unicorn is done. Let me show you. Look how cute that is. I put a little braid. I don't know if I'm going to keep the braid, but I put a little braid in her hair. Her name is Cora. And I used glittery eyes. I don't know if you can see them, but I used glittery safety eyes. Put some lashes on there because I got somebody's input. I don't know if you can see it. If I get too close, it's going to get dark. So I did run into one issue with this beauty. She matches my shirt too. So I was embroidering. Lesson learned. If you decide to put lashes on, put them on before you stuff the head. Because I decided last minute, I asked my Yarny friends what they thought, and they thought the lashes would be, sorry, there's a fuzz. There's fuzzies flying all over the place right now. And they said lashes definitely. So I decided to embroider them on after like her head was even attached to the body. And this eye here, yes, this eye here, when I was embroidering it, it came loose. I do not know what happened. It was really firmly on there that I thought when I attached them. Something happened. I don't know if there's a malfunction in the eyes, but her head was done. It's sewed shut. So I got very upset. I got another eye out because my husband even tried helping me squeezing it together, and it broke. I don't know if there was a malfunction with the eye, but my backing was still in there. So I was able to put another eye in, and I heard the click to the backing. So it's in there solid now. So her eye is not going anywhere. So yes, and the mane, I told you guys I didn't know what I was going to do with the mane. I decided to use this pearlescent sparkly yarn. Oh, you probably won't be able to see it. But it's a pearlescent sparkle yarn. Let me just show you guys everything I used. I just love it though. It turned out so cute. As far as everything else with it was smooth sailing. So for her mane, I use this Red Heart with Love metallic in white, and it's got the pearlescent. My lights are not in the right position. I'm still learning that part. Just the pearlescent metallic running through it. The pictures that I took of her, I'll post it on the original announcement of the group, the Facebook group, and you'll be able to see the sparkle mane. And then I also used Red Heart with Love, Red Heart Super Saver, ombre, and sea coral for her body, and I just let the body do its thing. The colors, I just let the colors flow. And then I love this yarn in Graybeard for the nose and the feet. The pattern I used, which I thought was spectacular, was by Sweet Oddity Art. It's Jupiter the Unicorn, and I purchased it off of Ravelry. Even the picture, she used a speckled yarn for her unicorn, and it turned out really, really pretty. Now, in her picture, the mane of the horse, or the mane of the unicorn is really long, and so I kind of wish that I made her mane longer because I just like how it just like flows. But the pattern said to cut it 16 inches, and I just was going with it at that time. So we just left that at 16 inches, and she's got a little tail. So with the mane as well too, I used the center of this ball yarn. I pull from the center. And we all know that when you pull from the center, the yarn is really like curly-ish kind of when you pull it out. So I was using it for the mane, so her hair was actually really curly. Like, it was curly, and I liked it, but I wanted a more straighter look. Flowy look is what I was going for. So I decided to steam her mane, so it took all those curlies out, and I like it much better. I'm a big steamer. I will steam things. It just gives it a more polished look in the end. I think so. Not everybody's the same, of course, but most blankets and stuff that are flat or you know, using squares, I steam them to, and it helps perfect any unevenness. I steam them, I pin them down and steam it out, and it just gives it a more polished look. So yes, I got the steamer out to steam her mane, and the curls are gone, and it's just a more flowy mane, which I like. So now her body, it seems though that her head was the darker color of the yarn. And I didn't get back to it again. It looks like I was just on my way to the dark color again. So basically her body turned out to be the light color. You can see some gradient effect on her body. And there's a little bit on her legs and her arms. So yes, her head is darker, but that's okay. I mean, she's still cute, right? And my Yarny friends named her Cora, because I guess we're just going to name all the Amigurumi this year. And I like it. I like the idea of it. So, yeah. She turned out really cute. I kind of wish I put some, something in the bottom here to help hold her up. She will sit up on her own for the most part. Sometimes she plops back, but for the most part, she does sit. You have to just position her just right. But yeah, I like it. So yes. So I guess you guys are all probably wondering right now, what's February? Because tomorrow's February 1st, right? What is the theme for February? Well, let me tell you. Oh, so you have, real quickly, not to change the subject real quick, but you have till tonight to get your entries in for your unicorn. And then I will do a drawing on the wheel. Tomorrow I'll post a video on Facebook, and you have a chance to win the same yarn I use for my unicorn, Red Heart Super Saver in Sea Coral, and then a skein of Red Heart Super Saver in Gray Heather, and then there's one of my stitch markers on there as well too. So be sure to get your unicorns in tonight. Yeah, we'll see who wins that tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and announce next month's theme. So I pretty much have all the themes picked out. Not all. There's a handful of months that I'm like, I'm not sure what to do yet. And February is one of them. I didn't know what to do. Valentine's Day is in February. You'd think the thing I would be picking would be something for Valentine's Day. Well, I didn't want to. I didn't want to do something for Valentine's Day. So I was trying to think of something else, and me and my daughter were on our way to a birthday party last Saturday. And I was talking to her about it, and she had also suggested Valentine's Day. I was like, oh, let's think of something else. And she said, what about polar bears? Okay then, I like that idea. I love polar bears, they're so cute. So, February's theme is polar bears. And I went ahead and picked out a pattern. And I'm going to do, I purchased it off of Ravelry as well. You don't have to do the patterns that I'm picking. You can pick any pattern free, make it up as you go, whatever, as long as it's the theme of the month at the end of the day when you're done with it, as long as it's that theme. So yes, I picked Peppermint the Polar Bear. And I purchased it off of Ravelry. Here is another picture. And I just want, don't know if you guys can see that. But he is fuzzy. He's very fuzzy. And that's what I liked about him. And he's got a cute little scarf too. This is by Crystallized Designs. Crystal Bucles. I'll be sure to link the pattern down below. So the yarn that they're using is fuzzy. And some of the pictures, if you guys go to look at this pattern, he's really cute. And he's a good size. See if he says, they say what size he's going to be. 11 inches. So the yarn they're using is Fable Fur in Eisbar, which is found on Knit Picks. They were out of stock. Because I was like, I want my polar bear to be fuzzy too. And you need 160 yards of it. Well, yeah, they were out of stock. So I was trying to find some sort of equivalent to the fur yarn. And the white I needed was also out of stock. So I was talking to my Yarny friend, Christy, from Crochet Creations by Christy. And I said, listen, this is what I'm going to do. I need help finding this yarn. Tell me what you think. And she's going through what she has. We're trying to think of ideas. And then we decided to, we were looking at the Pipsqueak yarn or something like Pipsqueak. And I said, you know what, that might actually work. I could probably double it up. And, you know, to me, in the end, if it's bigger than 11 inches, that's fine. You know, as long as it's, you know, big and not a tiny amigurumi, because I don't want to do tiny little amigurumi. But so everything was out of stock for the fur yarn that I wanted. Everyone's using the white fur yarn. And so I went on a manhunt for a Pipsqueak or something similar. Also out of stock on multiple websites. So then I was on Joann's. And she was also, well, she got on Joann shortly after. They had it in stock. And they have $4.99 shipping. Well. And they had other yarns at 50% off. Needless to say, I have a package from Joann's coming. It's saying it's supposed to come sometime today, but we're getting a winter storm outside. So I'm not sure if it's going to come today. It may come tomorrow. That's okay. So I don't have my yarn yet that I'm going to use for it. That's okay. It's still the beginning. I'm going to get that started as soon as it comes. I'm very excited about it. And I will have a Michael's order coming as well too. Because I had a $40 voucher to use. And, well, I'm not going to let it just expire. It expired on February 9th, I believe. I wasn't going to let that expire. Absolutely not. If it was $5, I probably wouldn't be so big about it. But $40, that's quite a bit of yarn I can get. So I got that coming. I just placed that order this morning. Like I said, I've bought more yarn so far in 2021 than I have in 2020. It's okay. It's going to be fine. But I just remembered, I forgot to announce what you could possibly win in February if you make a polar bear. Because I went into my polar bear yarn rants and one thing led to another and I forgot. So let me show you what you're going to get. And give me 1 second to... Okay, so what can you win in February if you make a polar bear? Let me show you. You are going to win 2 skeins of Red Heart with Love in the color Delightful. And one of my stitch markers. I must say I'm getting low on stitch markers. I need to make some more. I got supplies to make more. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and make them yet because I've been wanting to crochet things. Oh, this also matches my shirt. Very pretty. So you have a chance to win that. It is a 4 medium, 100% acrylic, and 180 yards each. So yes. So get your polar bear patterns found. Get working on those. I can't wait to get mine once my yarn arrives. Yeah. Christy ended up ordering a box too, and she got hers 2 days later. I don't know how that happened, but she did. And her and I were talking when we were ordering our yarn. I didn't see what she ended up, I don't know what she ended up finally getting. And I don't think she knows what I finally ended up getting. So it's going to be interesting to see that. She said she's going to do a video sometime today with that information, sharing that deal. And yes. So, oh, I'm all over the place. So when I was on Michael's today, their latte cakes and some other cake yarn is clearanced out for $3.99. So if you want to jump on that, get over there before it's out of stock, because I got myself some. Latte cakes was one of them. Karen cakes, and I think sprinkle cakes. There's a couple other cakes on there, so check that out. Okay. I'm going to go now because I'm just blabbering. I can't wait to see your guys' polar bears. I'm very excited to get started on mine. I hope you guys have a fabulous week. And remember to keep that yarn running through those fingers. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.